Hi, good morning, everybody. Do we have audio on this? Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is Marilyn, and it's welcome to my world, the morning edition. This is about 8:30 on the 1st of February, and we've got news coming in about 1 minute. So if you're in a trade, I would watch that trade very closely. You might want to tighten up your stops. This is not likely to make a big difference, but who knows? The markets have been they've been just a little volatile last week. So we've got U.S. U.S. news is coming at 8:30. 9:30 is the Royal Bank of Canada manufacturing numbers. 9:45 is the final PMI manufacturing for the U.S. 10 o'clock, there is a significant news number, which is the ISM manufacturing PMI, and then there's a couple other ones at 10. And at 11, this Draghi character will be speaking in Europe. So if you're trading the 6E or anything to do with the euro, you might want to keep that in mind. So this morning, my goodness, the markets are not, they're not moving quite a lot. We'll see what happens. Crude oil has been down all morning. And it's interesting because the CAD usually trades with it, but it's made a move up. The bonds are trying to go up. We'll see what happens. I noticed the Japanese yen looks like it's trying to hide under the bridge or something. It's barely moved for hours and hours and hours. But there is, I believe, some significant Japanese news coming this week. I believe it's on Wednesday. And yes, thanks. I've got a loading problem this morning on my chart. So as soon as I get the charts loaded, I'll get them up. I may have to take Ninja down and reload the data on this, but I will get them up in a few minutes, one way or the other, because they are of no use to me whatsoever. So anyway, this morning, I wanted to let you all know there have been several people asking me in the room and then contacting me privately that they wanted to get some help with a business plan, because I keep nagging about the business plan all the time, and I'm going to nag about it today because it's the first trading day of the month. So this is when you get your February laid out. What are you gonna trade in February? What are your goals for February? What is your what kind of numbers do you want to come up with at the end of the month? So you've got this month booked and banked. And so I did put a post, I believe it's in the forum now. I think you can do a search in the little window for business plan or something like that. And it's kind of a long one, and I'm sure it's kind of confusing. But if it is, at noon when I come back on, I can talk a little bit more about that. And if you have questions about how you can set yours up and how to get started, that's what you have to do. You're not gonna sit down and do this all in 5 minutes. And the hardest part is you have to think. So if you do have questions about that, keep them in mind for when I come back at noon, and I'll try to address some of those. It's better to address them here because whatever questions you have, there's probably 10 other people that have the same question, except they don't want to ask. So it's a lot easier because it helps more people if we try to get everybody's questions addressed in this room. Keep in mind, this is traders helping traders in this room. Everybody trades in this room. We don't have somebody who just, does nothing but monitor the room. So we're all in this together, and we're all here to help each other. So I will, what we've had here is the very worst month for markets generally in January in many years. So, of course, the talking heads have gone berserk, and they all have an opinion, and that doesn't necessarily mean their opinion is right, because what you're going to find is the market's right. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Doesn't matter what they think, doesn't matter what you think, doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what the bus driver's going to do. So just trade what you see. There will be opportunities. If it's a little bit slow on Monday, don't worry about that. There will be better days than other days. So if you don't feel comfortable taking a trade, wait. There'll be a better trade come along. There's no sense in jumping out and trading because you think you have to trade. You don't. You don't at all. Wait for the good ones. So we've got the VIX coming down a little bit Friday. I'm not sure that's going to last, but it closed at 2020. And we've had crude oil selling off after it had a pretty good rally. It's been up and down, and everything has. What is happening is that all these, genius types that run these central banks all over the world, Bank of Japan, the European Central Bank, our own special brain trust, the U.S. Fed, these people are all in a bit of a dither because the reality is they don't know what to do, which shouldn't surprise anybody. But as long as they keep dithering and running around in circles, the markets are likely to be a little bit skitterish. So just focus on what your strategy is and trade what you see, trade what the indicators tell you. Just learn to trust them. And I know that's hard, but you just have to, that's what you'd really need to do. So I'll come back at noon, and we'll see what the morning has brought. Hopefully I will have my charts up and running by then. This has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you about noon. Thanks.